Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Play Megaman Battle Network Operate Star Force. In the last part we found ourselves in Dentown a little bit early technically because somehow me walking into the Metro line didn't trigger the main plot line. It usually does, but I've also gotten here early a lot of other times, so maybe you just have to stand in a specific space or come here first. I'm honestly not entirely certain. And now, well, we're gonna go actually do the plot stuff. So, let's head back to AC/DC Town so we can meet up with Mail finally. Here's hoping she hasn't just been standing there, waiting for us the entire time, because I feel like if she learned we went there before her, without her, she'd be a little angry, to put it lightly. Oh, there you are.
Sorry.
Hey, you're late.
Sorry, don't look so mad.
You mean like you are every time I'm late?
Bygones. Oh, Lan, I have to bring something to my grandma's. Sorry, but you can go ahead to Dentown.
What? Why did I have to wait for you then?
Sorry, I'll make it up to you. Later.
And thus, we must repeat the cycle. We actively need to head back to Dentown and wait for her there. Though, at this point, I am going to come back to Higsby's and buy an extra chip or two considering the extra zenny I've earned along the way. Namely, the fast gauge chip. Like I mentioned, this speeds up the rate at which the custom gauge charges up, meaning you can get more turns in less time. Very good for getting S ranks on boss fights, or if you're trying to get a program advance out on normal enemies to get an S rank there, because I believe in Battle Network 1, S rank requires taking out 2 enemies at once, at least once in the battle. Pretty good, pretty good. I'm also going to use this time to head onto the internet and do some stuff around here, namely, due to Miyus' link, we can access more of the internet, but I also want to finally fight Fireman 3 and get some more chips from him here. I forget if I'm comfortable enough with my folder at this point to get just Fireman 2s consistently, but I definitely want to try and get at least one Fireman 3. Because Fireman is just a consistently good chip because it's a straight amount of damage at a boss fight pretty easily. I forget if I've already mentioned this, but there is this very interesting trend with the Battle Network games. In that usually the first scenario's boss fight's battle chip, when you can get it, is one of the best ones for just random battles in the game, because the first net nab you fight in Battle Network 2 is really good, battle chip-wise, especially if you know how to use it right. Battle Network 3's first battle chip's pretty good like that. BN4's is a little bit complicated, because it depends on who you get. Battle Network 5, yeah, no, that one's pretty good too. And Battle Network 6, yeah, consistently, all 6 games, sort of, have a really good first Navi chip you can get, at least from a scenario boss fight. Now, the annoying thing about Miyus' link is that it leads to Internet Area 4, but like I mentioned when we first entered Internet Area 3, we can't get to Internet Area 4 from 3, you can only get to it from Internet Area 2, because the layout for the internet in this game is, how do I put this lightly, bad? It's very clunky and shows the fact it's the first game in an interesting way, admittedly, because they refined it so well even for the second game. But, ugh. And I'm also not too fond of Internet Area 4 itself, because I think it's one of the most annoying areas to traverse through. Because usually they have like a main pathway in each area that leads to the next area or two, and some side paths. This is just the most roundabout, long and winding route in the game, barring maybe one of what is considered the undernet areas in the game. But we do have some new viruses, namely the Flappy 3 and the Poiton 1s. Flappy 3s have 150 HP to 100 damage. They move the same way as Flappy 1s, only when they land, they also generate an explosion and a cross pattern you need to watch out for. Poiton 1s are the exact same as Poiton 3s we fought, I think it was last part, but they attack a little slower and they do less damage. Notably, they have, I think it's 100 HP and 100 damage each. As for what they drop, Flappy 3s will drop the Quake 3 chip from rank 5 or above. Out of any of the codes I would recommend the D code at rank 8 or above. Whereas Poitons will drop the Dynamite 1 chip. I'd recommend the B code at rank 8 or above. But it will start at dropping it at Q code, of all things, in rank 5 or above. Although notably, Q code isn't too bad compared to what it was in the original Battle Network 1 here, in that they removed some Q codes from the game, period. Q was one of the codes that I think they often took a look at and turned into asterisk codes in this game, or rather in Operate Star Force. So you don't have to worry about it as much here. With that said, I'm not too fond of the Dynamite code line, and I'm not too fond of the Quake chip line, so it's just not one I tend to use. At least not here. Again, later games, things get a little better, a little more interesting. Admittedly, Quake 1 and 2 aren't too bad for a first playthrough if you don't care too much about folder synergy, quote-unquote. If you just like to have various chips in your folder that try them out, they're good. But I'm very focused on either getting program advances or making it so I can get through a folder very quickly. And sometimes that's the correct strat. Other times, if you're certain other Battle Network games, you want to get the very powerful chips in very quickly. And I'm especially looking at a certain Guardian chip. And here we have a very uneventful net merchant, unless you're playing the GBA version where you can buy the heat armor here for 20,000 zenny. Like with the wood armor, that doubles your defense except to water elemental attacks. But since it's not here because they removed it in lieu of a different mechanic, I don't have to care. Oh, this poor Poiton. Fireman 3 is also a little bit notable in that its damage is kind of ridiculous for how simple of a chip it is to get. One of the strategies I would take in the original Battle Network 1, where the folder requirements for how many chips of a certain type you can have were radically different and much more busted, I would just have a shitload of Fireman 3s, or a certain other Navi chip from later on in the game, because it was just frankly ridiculous what you could do with it. Battle Network 2, for better and in some ways for worse, really did refine how you could balance your folder. Mind you, Battle Network 2 just kind of refined the series into something much more eventful and interesting. Not that Battle Network 1's bad, I'll go into this as we go through, but it's definitely very bare mechanically, even with the stuff Operate Star Force adds and replaces from later games in the series. With that said, we're finally at the end of Internet Area 4, but we can't progress. It looks like an access point somewhere, however, we don't know how to access it. Well, I guess in that case we might as well get on over to Dentown. Oh, we got mail as soon as we got in here. What do we got? Ooh, from the official mail line. Official Net Battlers, greetings. Can the Den City rep tell us how about the Waterworks viruses? World 3's viruses are getting worse, so be on your guard. Sometimes the mailing list actually does act out sort of like a conversation where you'll get mails over and over again as you go through. They stopped doing it like this in later games.
I'm free now, so I'll take the bus to Dentown Block 1. Oh yeah, you know Yai's been collecting antiques recently? I was wondering if you could look for a place to buy some. Sorry to ask so much, Lan. Hey, I got this for you.
And we get Roll 2R.
See you later,
Mail. Roll, since you never actively fight her in the series barring one game, you just get her upgraded battleships either by talking to Mail or through plot events. This is Chud. The Waterworks incident used a net navi with ice attacks. I found out that ice power is aqua-based. And there was a civilian net navi on the Works server. And elementary school students, some kind of wannabe hero. Should I be offended by that? I feel like I should. I'm gonna kick his ass next time he shows up anyway, more than likely. So let's just move on to where we have to be. This is Dentown Block 1 and stand right here for plot.
Mail isn't here yet, is she?
Huh, what could it be this time?
Wait, Lan, does the traffic light look odd to you too? Huh? It's green both ways. Watch out! An accident! Oh no! Oh, the humanity! Help! Somebody help! Lan, you've got mail. It's from World 3. What? It seems the Dentown auto-drive system has malfunctioned. But we at World 3 have created a program to solve the problem. Just install in your car computer, and it'll run like new. It's a little pricey at 1 million zennies, but it's worth it. On sale at Central Dentown only while supplies last.
Well, that's just insane. I had to buy a fixed program. It's only 1 million zenny this time. Cheap.
Let's hurry. Those World 3 meanies? Kicking people when they're down? I bet it's their virus bugging the traffic lights.
I think so too. Let's delete that traffic virus. Megaman, I'm jacking in.
Okay.
Well, you heard Lan. Jack into the traffic light for what is probably my favorite gimmick of a scenario computer in the game, with my least favorite music. I hate the theme for the traffic light computers. World 3 has bugged up our programs. When this floor is red, pressing that switch should make the signal turn red. I'm not sure what to do. Our goal is to turn the main panel there red, and the way you do that is by walking through the pathway. The way this gimmick works is that whenever you walk through a light, whichever pathway is active switches. Red turns on and off, blue turns on and off, as the other one does the opposite. With that said, you can only walk on pathways that are activated, so your goal is to just kind of go through everything and figure out how and where to turn what on where. It's more so a puzzle of movement than anything, yeah, but I like it a lot. With that said, in terms of viruses, you're going to be fighting a lot of Aqua and Heat Elemental viruses here, namely the Volgear line, the Puppy line, Metar 2s, and later on, I think even Metar 3s. Not too much in terms of new viruses, at least not in the early ones, but I think there's a line that's almost exclusive to here, barring its third variant. The biggest puzzle to me, honestly, when it comes to this area is trying to remember where the mystery data are and how to turn on the pathway for them in specific. Sometimes it's a little bit tricky, because you'll have to just kind of go back and forth through the same corner over and over again awkwardly until it works, but eventually it does. Did it! Lan, let's tell everyone we fixed the lights, quick. Okay. One down. Unfortunately, many to go. As Megaman said, though, we should probably focus on finding the lady in charge of all this and showing her what's up. Oh, there you are.
I'm busy here. Go away. Shoot.
Never mind the antiques. I want that program. You're being duped by World 3. That's it. I see. I'm leaving. Give me my program. I just withdrew all my savings.
No, don't. I'll fix the signals.
You will? Well, I guess I won't need that program then.
Sell it to me. I'll pay you double, triple.
Please calm down.
Hey, you're right. I don't even have a driver's license.
What the?
Why, you... Hey, it's you again.
You were at the waterworks. You're a World 3 operator?
That's right, you meddling kid.
Hey, you're the one who's meddling.
You don't know the trouble I've... This time I'll break all the traffic signals for good. And I'll get you good too. That's right, I've been looking at your personal files. There's nothing sadder than losing the ones we love. And I think you're gonna be real sad.
Well, that was ominously threatening. Lan, I've got a bad feeling about this. Yeah, me too. Lan, phone for you. Who is it? Hello?
Lan, it's me.
Oh, it's you, Mail. Oh, no.
Help! I'm stuck in a runaway bus. All the lights are green and we keep speeding up.
Mail, calm down. Where are you?
Hold on. We just passed downtown Block 3, heading for Block 4.
Gotcha. I'll be there ASAP. Don't panic. Lan, we've got to turn the lights red to stop that bus. I know. Well, thankfully, Block 4 is right over here, so we just need to get over to the traffic light we can jack into, which is signaled by the little computer on it, and get into traffic light computer 2. Bit of an odd thing about Battle Network 1 compared to some of its later entries, though, is, by and large, the later games stick to 3 areas per scenario computer. Mostly, there's some that have 4 and at least 1 or 2 that have 5. But they usually stick to 3, but Battle Network 1's kind of all over the place with it. With that said, we have our next new virus right here. These are the jellies. Particularly, this is the Jelly 2, also known as Heat Jellies. 150 HP, 200 damage. Their attack is to kind of move around the columns and rows, charging up, in which case, when they eventually do their attack, which is very rare in my instances, they'll shoot out a wave across, I believe, all 3 columns of your field, maybe, or is it just rows ahead of them, I think. Either way, watch out for it. Heat Jellies, or Jelly 2s in particular, their attacks are fire elemental, so if you have the wood armor on in the original game, you're going to take some extra damage from them. But that said, they also drop that wave as their battle chip. In particular, it's called Red Wave, and it drops from rank 7 or above. Neither of its codes are that good, though, and I honestly don't like the chip too much from what I recall using of it anyway. And here we got Jelly Ones. 120 HP, 200 damage. These things hurt, which is why they take so long to attack, I think. And they drop the just straight up wave chip, which is the same thing, but does, I think, 80 damage versus 100 of Aqua Elemental. If you want to get their battle chip, though, I think that's also rank 7 or above. One of the codes is A code, though, so that's pretty useful. Megaman, hurry, the bus will be here any time now. Roger. The thing is about the traffic light computers, too, a lot of these networks end before they feel like they've even started. Stop. Oh, no, we're too late. Land? I know, I'm not giving up yet. I'll jack out right away. Somebody call Keanu Reeves and Sandra Bullock. We need their assistance. Mail?
Sorry, Charlie. So, you miss your girlfriend yet?
So you were behind it all along.
You better listen up, kiddo. I forgot to mention the virus I put in the bus gas program. It makes the gas go backwards, and then it's boom time.
What?
I should think the virus will activate any time now. You better stop that bus quick, huh? Good luck.
That gal really ticks me off. Land, quick, we have to catch that bus. Let's get farther ahead of it this time. In this case, I believe we have to head over to block 1, whichever one's here on the top right. Because it's technically already supposed to be heading towards the one on the top left, so if we get here, we might be able to beat it. Now, I believe Traffic Computer 3 is where I really start to enjoy this place, because it's where they start getting really topsy-turvy with where you can go. Additionally, I think this is where we can start running into a new virus that is kind of essential in a lot of ways on fresh playthroughs, because I feel it has one of the best chips in the game. Also, I should know, you might be hearing some slowdown in the music every here and there. I had been doing a lot of recording sessions in a row at this point. I refreshed that soon enough, so that should slow down. But we do have a new virus here. This is Flappy 2, not the one I wanted to see, but it's one I'll take all the same. Compared to Flappy 3's, their big difference is that they have 120 HP and 60 damage, and when they attack you, they're crushing a thing. Only it attacks the panel you're on and the 2 above and below it, so it's essentially like the line bomb we got from the B-tanks. With that said, if you want to get their Quake 2 battle chip, which does the Quake things, only I think it does the explosion above and below as well, I believe they drop theirs at rank 5 or above, and you can get the B code for them, which is really good. I've mentioned I love that code in this game before, and I will never stop mentioning it. My usual endgame folders, especially for postgame, are B and S for Battle Network 1. But here's the virus I'm really looking for. This is the Metar 3s. 100 HP, 100 damage, the usual speed increases and such. They can still drop Met Guard, but the big thing is their chip is Dino Wave, which is just kind of ridiculous. 100 damage with some really easy to code with codings. It's a ridiculous battle chip. Plus, it hits real fast, and it's just a really good chip to have on fresh playthroughs, especially if you want to get it from them. I believe they drop it at ranks 5 or above. I would recommend getting the S code at rank 7 and above more than any of the other codes with it, though. And they drop Met Guard if you want to get it from them for some reason, even though Met Guard L I don't even think is used in a program advance in rank 4 and 5. Something I might do if I'm playing the original Battle Network 1 at this point due to its folder restrictions is just grind a bunch of those up and just put them in my folder. Megaman, the bus is here again. Roger, the signal should change soon. We'll make it. I hope so. A little bit weird how fast they imply these areas are going by. I guess Mega Man is technically a program and we're probably experiencing things just how he experiences it speed-wise. It could be faster for land. That also could be why each of these areas is so damn short. Too late again? Ah! But the bus slowed down a little. Don't give up yet. Right. And now we need to head for the area we entered Dentown from, because that's where it should be heading next.
Lan, you got mail from Mail.
Please let it just be all caps screaming, help!
I heard the bus is going to blow up. For real? Lan, help. What should I do?
Let's just sit tight and hope we can figure this out in time, because there's not much you can probably do on there at the moment. Because I doubt they'd let a bus's computer be hacked by someone on the bus, because that just could lead to all sorts of safety discrepancies. But with that, I'm going to need to end this off here. Thank you guys for watching, and in part 12, we're going to hopefully make sure Mail doesn't blow up. See you guys then.